NFL 22 on EA Sports. And we've got a duel in the Lone Star State. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Cowboys on Thursday night primetime.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Now a handoff here to his running back. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on 3rd down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, Defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Lance going to sneak it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just a...
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2, so I would agree with you totally on that.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a play fake. Lance.
They'll roll him out right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
52 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Elliott.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 7 yards, the pickup there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers.
Let's go!
Brandon Ayuk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up, because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season, or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. To throw is Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A first down throw for Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike 46. Mike
To throw again on second down. Prescott.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And again, it's Prescott.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. CD Lamb.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Cowboys have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway
as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
A final shot before half for Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In that 1 o'clock time frame, a lot to choose from. But let's highlight the game in Philadelphia, a big one for the Eagles as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. The late afternoon games hold some intrigue as well, a good one being up at MetLife Stadium, where it'll be the Jets taking on the LA Rams. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And they were able to have some success throwing the football against the secondary. Look for that to continue as they try to break this deadlock. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position, and even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. And that's on Austin Jackson, first-round pick in 2020. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 13. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play here for Dallas.
But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Tenth carry now for Elliott. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
That takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Mitchell, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Here's Lance. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 3rd down. It's Mitchell.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Eluding the pressure right.
He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And the Niners are going to have first and goal as he's out of bounds at about the 8.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll try the left side. Mitchell. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee.
And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front.
This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will make this a 4-point game.
Cowboys 17. Joey Sly sets the kickoff.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
To throw, it's Lance.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfrow. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now this one complete on the slant route, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Prescott. It's caught. Cooper. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 8 more yards this time coming off back-to-back first down pickups. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's Dak. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now Dak. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Prescott. Left side to Lamb. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So Lance and the Niners down 24-21, 46 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. And right back to Kittle. This time he's got it. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing left side, it's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He's back to throw. Rolling to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Back to throw. Gonna throw deep for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
It's his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. This to potentially send us to overtime. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. Well, the 49ers settling in for their next drive.
They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who
puts it on the carpet, it's out. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here. It almost became self-fulfilling.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Yeah, Betty.
After review of play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a Niners first down. They needed 3, he doubled that, he got 6. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Lance. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sent back at the 38. Micah Parsons. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. And Lance going to throw. Flush to his right. And it's caught.
Come on, boys! Here we go.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the 49ers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.